Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. And a rude awakening, a win, but a warning, I think, is probably the right way to put it. Final score at Ellis Park, or Emirates Airline Park, 22 to 19. Sorry, 22 to 21, not 19, 22 to 21. 1 point in it. In the end, it was, I wouldn't say comfortable from the box. I don't think Argentina were really in it. I don't think they were really at any stage, looking good to win. But the Boks were not at the races for certain parts of the game. A defensive, we want to say masterclass because it's a game you kind of wanted to win. We kind of wanted to dominate. We kind of wanted to have ball in hand. But defensively, absolutely rock solid right up until the last 10 minutes. We were playing with 14 men. So lots of positives regarding the defense. I thought our defense looked far more organized and a couple of really good individual performances when it comes to the defense. But yeah, in open play, I think that we had moments where we played pretty well. I think we tried to be quite dynamic. We wanted to try and at times up the pace. I think the decision making in the end was probably what let us down. When to kick, when not to kick, when to use what type of kicks, when to keep it simple, when to try and be a bit more expansive, be a bit more creative. A few players, I think, putting their hands up. A few players who were a little bit quiet, and there might be a couple of questions asked about them. A couple of players who I think had questions to answer, and I thought played very well. So an interesting game, which has created a lot of questions, probably more questions than answers potentially. I don't think they'll lose too much sleep about it because I think it's quite easy to see where we need to improve and what went wrong. But very much a warning that if you're not at it, teams like Argentina can beat you. We know now that the new world rugby order, there's not a lot in it. Yes, the top four sides, Ireland, New Zealand, South Africa, France, are kind of on a level above, which is why the Boks can afford to play badly and still beat Argentina. But there's a big warning there that there's not a big gap. Australia have been really poor, and I think the reason that they've been beaten by all, and they're going to come to sort of last in the tournament, is Argentina side can play. And I think you do need to give them a certain amount of respect. But what we said in the pregame is, yes, respect them, understand they're good, but kind of go and blow them away. And we didn't quite do that. It was looking good at one stage. It was the worst possible start, though, Grant Williams. And I think that did play a big role in the game. That concussion literally in 20 seconds into the game. And that was the end of his first test start. So Argentina actually got off to a much better start. They got up to 6-0 while the Boks kind of sort of try to refocus and respond to that Grant Williams early substitution. Evan Etzebeth scoring a try out on the wing of all places, running over Santiago Carreras after a brilliant pass from Villarreal. Good pass as well for Faf de Klerk in the build-up. Buck missing that one. We then demonstrated our power as Damon De Allende went off the back of a maul actually and scored in the 26th minute to make it 13 points to 6. Buck adding the extras, 15 points to 6. Then just before half time, Santiago Carreras added an extra 3. And that's kind of where it stood for a long time. And we spoke at halftime during our halftime show that, as I said, there were decent moments, but we needed to be more clinical. We needed to take more of our chances and needed to try and, from our pattern play and our structure, stop playing Argentina's game and stop letting us be, disrupted. And I don't think we really managed to counter that. And the game was pretty stagnant for a long time. In fact, the first points of the second half actually coming in the 68th minute. A completely against the run of ball try by Buck after a brilliant tackle from JC Creel, dislodged the ball. Ball got loose. Faf de Klerk turned it over, popped it up to Buck, who ran about 70-odd meters to run in the try there, adding the conversion. Damon De Allende then got yellow carded, a little bit harsh. It'll be interesting to see what the reaction is towards Damon De Allende getting the yellow card for a deliberate knockdown, which was very accidental, very marginal. The fact that no action was taken against Jean Cruz Malia for the charge down on Grant Williams, which is going to be quite a contentious issue. Mateo Carreras went over out wide, simply a 15-on-14 type of try, and then Gonzalo Bertino, well after the hooter went. It didn't matter in the end because we'd already won the game, but frustrating to concede that try. If we look at some of the stats, Argentina with 56% of possession, 59%. It's a bit like the Boks of old, actually. You didn't play with a lot of ball in hand and were quite happy to defend. We've often been that side. We did, however, run far more meters and more gain line carries, more clean breaks. Argentina had more defenders beaten though with 21 to 15. More offloads as well. It was a big defensive effort. We made 140 of 161 tackles. I'm actually very happy with the defense. Yes, we can see those 2 late tries, but before then we were absolutely rock solid and some very good defensive efforts there. 87% tackle success rate, Argentina at 84%. Monty Liebach missing 1 kick, Carreras missing 3. So in fact, had he brought his kicking boots, Argentina would have won, which again, sort of a big warning to the Boks about the fact that game was not ours to win as comfortably as we would like to. The lineouts were fine. No, neither team won a lineout. We lost 1 scrum. I thought we deserved more from our scrums. Discipline got a lot worse in the second half, conceding 11 penalties to Argentina's 10. And then, of course, the yellow card. If you look at individual performances, I would like to single out a couple of players. Steven Kitshoff was phenomenal. 4 tackles, 1K, more to the point. 3 turnovers, 1 at clutch moments as well. Malcolm Marks as well. 12 tackles, a couple of big turnovers, a couple of nice carries as well. But I think someone who gets a lot of criticism, and today I thought was absolutely sublime, was JC Creel. He got next to nothing when it comes to ball in hand and on the attack. The one time he did, I thought he actually did very well. He brought Curtly Orange in quite nicely. Had a nice little gas down the left-hand side. But he was an absolute animal on defense. 12 tackles, not a single one missed. A turnover 1 as well. When he did get the ball across, he made 2 clean breaks. A defender beaten. I thought he looked like a man who wants to prove a lot of people wrong today, and I was very impressed with him. Villaroo, I thought, had some very good moments, very bad moments. Martin Liebach, I thought, wasn't as assured. Tried a couple of things, a couple of chips over the top. PSF's toy, I thought, was a little bit poor. Evan Etzebeth, however, looked back to his best, especially in that first half. Dwayne looked very good again. And off the bench, I thought that Faf de Klerk was fantastic on defense, but yeah, our decision-making maybe wasn't his best, but had some very good defensive efforts there. Let me know what you thought about the game down in the comments below. Smash like on the video. Subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Stephen, and I'll chat to you soon.